Hi, I'm Sekine, a financial planner. If you want to buy a property in Japan, let's study Japanese property and mortgage. The average price of a newly built condominium in Tokyo's 23 wards has now exceeded 150 million yen. At first glance, this may sound like a story limited to ultra luxury development or a small group of wealthy buyers concentrated in central district. Many people simply say, that's just Tokyo. However, what is happening today is now simply about higher prices. It represents a structural transformation of Tokyo's housing market, one that affects not only investors but also ordinary households, long-time residents, the people locating to Japan for work or family reasons. The clearest sign of this shift appears not in the new build segment. The apartments that are 20 to 25 years old, typically around 50 square meters, are now selling over 100 million yen. Just 5 years ago, prices at this level were rare and limited to exceptional locations. Today, they are becoming increasingly common. More important reason prices have risen much faster than wages. Household income has not doubled over the same period, yet housing costs effectively have. This widening gap is a critical signal that the market is being driven by forces beyond local purchasing power. This trend is also no longer confined to a handful of prime neighborhoods. New condominium prices in central Tokyo exceeded 150 million yen, and some areas surpassed 300 million yen. Many end users are pushed out of the newly built market entirely. For these buyers, the issue is not preference but necessity. They are now choosing resale apartments because they are cheaper or offer better values. They are choosing them because they are the only realistic option left. As a result, resale apartments are undergoing a fundamental redefinition. Older units are increasingly treated as a substitute for a new construction. Renovated apartments are marketed and evaluated less as long-term homes and more financial products. The traditional assumption that older means more affordable no longer applies in Tokyo. At this point, it is useful to compare Tokyo with global cities as such New York and London. In these cities, older properties are often expensive as well. Ages alone does not determine value. Location, building quality, neighborhood stability, and long-term demand play a central role in pricing. In that sense, Tokyo is not unique. However, there is a critical difference. In New York and London, resale rules, taxation, and ownership structures are clearly defined. Short-term flipping discouraged through capital gains, taxation, and transaction cost. The difference between investment use and living in the home is officially recognized and included government policy. While prices may be high, the rules of the game are transparent and widely understood. In other words, prices are global, but so are the regulations. Tokyo, by contrast, is experiencing a different kind of imbalance. Prices are becoming global, but regulations are still mostly domestic and unclear. This gap between global prices and local policy is at the core of today's distortions. Against this backdrop, major Japanese developers have included unusual strong measures. These include penalties for handover resales, for future of deposits, and 5-year resale bans enforced through private contracts. Such actions are highly unusual for private companies operating in a developed market. This raises the fundamental questions. Why are developers being forced to act like regulators? The real issue is not speculative flipping itself. Speculation exists in every global city. The real problem comes from structural limits. Tokyo faces chronic land scarcity, particularly in areas with strong transportation access. Construction costs continue to rise due to labor shortage and material inflation. A weekend makes Japanese real estate appears relatively inexpensive to global capitals. A weekend makes Japanese real estate appears relatively inexpensive in global capitals. At the same time, foreign investors' inflow are no longer cyclical. They are structural and cyclical. Their forces cannot be solved by individual developers acting defensively. Even very strict resale rules do not fix the real problem. They may slow some actions, but they don't change how the market really works. Housing is not merely an investment asset. It is social infrastructure. It supports daily life, employment, mobility, family formations, and long-term social stability. There is no clear national rules, so private companies are setting the rules project by project. As a result, Tokyo's housing market is quietly shifting. For those relocating to Japan or considering property investment, the key question has changed. It is no longer new or used. The real problem is how to deal with prices risk in the market, where prices have already high and rules have not caught up. Japanese Real Estate Information Channel will provide information of Japanese real estate and mortgage. If you would like to know more Japanese real estate and mortgage, please subscribe this channel.